You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, part two. Look, um, I had to bring this part out also. If you look at the commands, the edicts of these governments that both the three Hebrew boys as well as Daniel faced, those governments were requiring the people to break the Most High's laws. Those governments had put out legal documents with penalties attached to them, penalties of death for breaking these man made laws of the land that were in direct violation of the Most High's commands to the Most High's people. So, the laws of the land, in other words, were forcing the Most High's people to break the Most High's laws. That's exactly what was going down, which then forces the Most High's people to have to determine, do I really live for the Most High by laying down my life in order to honor His laws versus yielding to man's laws, man's threats of punishment and or death? Do I prolong my life, my physical life, by honoring man's laws versus doing what the Most High is commanding me to do? We are here. We are at that point. These scriptures are really, to me, repeating themselves in terms of history versus present. I know some of you have heard that if our guy with the toupee, I guess it's a toupee, if he gets back into office, that one of the things that he's trying to change is the day of worship, making Sunday the official mandatory day of worship, which means that those of us who honor Shabbats, and wait a minute, wait. Sunday is the day of worship, but I think then Friday to Saturday might be given to the other folks who say they are Jews. That might be given to them as their day of worship, but as we know, all feast days don't fall on sundown Friday to sundown Sunday. Sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. All feast days don't fall on that schedule. Likewise, we also know, for those of us who are following the moon cycles according to the book of Enoch, that all of our Shabbats do not fall Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. So that means that if the laws of the land then begin to mandate, dictate, with enforceable penalties attached to these edicts, that people like myself end up having to go to jail or suffer some sort of crime, some sort of punishment for committing a crime for practicing our beliefs, we will have to decide, do we go with what the Most High has told us, or do we go with what the lands of the law, or do we go with what the laws of the land dictate and mandate? Do we follow the Most High's laws, or do we follow man's laws? That's what it will come down to. Even to whom you pray. It might become so deep that people begin scrutinizing your use of the name Jesus versus Yahusha versus Yeshua versus Yehoshua, your use of the term God, Lord versus Yahuwah, Yahweh. Is getting deep out here, you all. It's getting really deep. It's getting really deep. It's getting really, really deep. So just understand that the government's laws oftentimes come into direct opposition with the Most High's laws and commands for the Most High's people. Okay? And even for those of you who think that just because one political party is pro-life, anti-abortion, That's good to be anti-abortion based on us not taking life and not sacrificing our children to Molech. That's good. But look at the full gamut, the full spectrum of everything that these people are standing for, what they're representing. Are they about the commands of the Most High? Do their fruit reflect that one and only good tree, that one and only good vine? That's what matters. So, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Which damnation are you willing to take? That's the challenge to everybody, because one way or the other, we're going to have to face something. Even when it comes down to all of these different, let's just call them scientific experiments that they're putting on people, which they've been doing that historically, but through these different medicines and so forth, whether you're taking the medicines orally or by injection or we're breathing it or whatever, through the foods, whatever, when they realize that, hey, we've got a whole group of people, whether you call us the remnant or the large masses, however it shakes out, we've got this group of people who are not being affected by what we've put out here to minimize population. We've got these people who are not turning into this or shape-shifting into that, which means that they're either not affected by what we put out here, or from that, which they're immune to it, in other words, or from that, they're not actually taking the stuff. Then they decide to come at it a different way, perhaps even trying to corral people and, bring them into different camps and try to, out them, off them. You never know. So be prepared is all I'm trying to say. And just be prepared, because it's happening. These laws have shifted. They are shifting and have shifted and will continue to shift. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't. Which damnation are you willing to take? The damnation of man or the damnation of the Most High?